Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Ryan Ennis. Ryan, how are you this evening, my brother?
I am doing fairly well. And yourself?
Not too bad today. I put it up on my Facebook earlier. I was playing old school arcade games and watching the Friday the 13th marathon today, so it wasn't a bad day.
You know, I am playing a game called Zombie Army Trilogy, and it's basically zombie Nazis, and like the last guy is like a super zombie Hitler, like legitimate Hitler.
It reminds me of there was a game that used to do that I had, and I can't remember.
Wolfenstein?
Maybe.
Yeah, where you went around and you had to go through doors and stuff like that, and there were demons there. And
I think so. Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember the name of the game I was playing earlier, but I remember it from my childhood. You know, one of those deals.
Yeah.
It was called Sunset Riders.
Yeah, I looked it up. I vaguely remember that one.
I used to put like so much money in that game.
I like old nostalgic games.
Because when I was growing up, I was in like a bowling league from my school, and the local like bowling alley had that game and the old WWF pinball machine. So I like bled money into those things.
Oh, I'm sure. That's funny.
Yeah. All right. Before we get started with everything, don't forget to check out our social media stuff. Facebook.com/American Sports Connection. Twitter's at ASC Pods. Instagram's at American Sports Connection. You can find all of our entire catalog on B Plus Player Radio. Best way to find it is on Twitter at B Plus Radio. And don't forget to check out our sponsors over at the Squared Circle Magazine. You can find them also on Twitter at TSCM Weekly. Use promo code ASCPOD and you will get 10% off your order. Had a blonde moment there for a minute. You think you have that shit memorized, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, no. Brain fart time.
Hell, Lance is dating himself. He says, I remember when Space Invaders came out in the arcade.
I thought you meant dating himself, as in, like, they, like...
No, not that.
I was like, what? And then, yeah.
That's funny.
I remember when Mortal Kombat first got into the arcades, and I remember it was such a big problem, and like all like the senators want to ban it because it was so violent, and I think that's what made people like want to go play it more.
Yeah, like when Tipper Gore did the whole thing with Ice-T.
I don't remember that specifically.
It was the one when Ice-T had the song Cop Killer.
Oh, fuck the police, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, man. That was a crazy time. I think she was did the same thing with Mortal Kombat. It's funny you mentioned Mortal Kombat. I was the asshole that would always play with Sub-Zero and freeze you after every, like, offensive move I would do, so you couldn't win.
Oh, no, I just block and hook you with Scorpion. Yeah, I liked Scorpion.
Yeah, Sub-Zero was my guy.
Bro, it's like I downloaded a Street Fighter 30th anniversary, and I love Street Fighter 2, and I'll still tell you to this day, one of my crown jewel moments is with Chun-Li getting a double perfect on M. Bison.
Yes!
And, bro, I went back and I tried playing it now. I get my ass whooped. I'm like, what the fuck? I was so much better as a kid.
Yeah.
It's the same game. How am I so bad?
I had that game on Super Nintendo, and it took me forever to beat M. Bison.
Oh, bro, I was so good when I was a kid compared to how I am now.
It was him and the Vega dude I always had trouble beating.
Yeah.
The one that had the like, weird-looking, like, Jason hockey mask.
Yeah, the claw.
That too, yeah, man. He was hard.
Yeah, memories, man, memories.
Yeah. All right. So you haven't heard this news, so I'll break it to you as well. WWE actually just put this out in the last few hours or so. I think they're up to 5 people now that are in the Mae Young Classic 2. And I'll just go straight down the list.
I know
They
Caitlyn.
actually just signed this one girl, and I'm going to try and pronounce her name. Forgive me if I butcher it. It's Japanese phenom Io
Okay.
Shirai.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about. Yo, bro, do you know anything about her?
she's like the most popular female wrestler ever in Japan.
Yeah, she's like the Japanese female John Cena.
Yes. Which is a
I
big,
mean,
which is a big coup for them because originally, I want to say like 6 months ago, they had offered her a deal and then they like reneged it because they thought she had like some kind of health issue.
yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yes.
And then she went for like more testing, and whatever they thought she had was not there.
Yeah, I think it was neck issues.
Yes, I believe you're right.
If I remember correctly.
Right.
Yeah, apparently she's like super over and super decorated and like super duper 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 talented.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how she translates to the American audience.
Yeah, that's always something that you gotta think of because things are just so different here.
Right, well, and no knock to them. Look at like Nakamura, for example, how it's just kind of not worked in certain aspects.
Yeah, but they want to give him a stupid fucking rock star gimmick. The
Well,
artist.
no, that's
like,
why. That's what I mean. They've kind of made him different. So I'm curious to see what they do.
I mean, like, I just don't know why they don't stick with it. I mean, like, he was fine in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against him being heel whatsoever, but you gotta like have him do like you want him heel, have him be vicious then.
Well, this is my big issue with him, and I don't know if he's still doing it because I haven't watched super closely. He annoys me because when he would speak, he would wear that mouth guard.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last time that they did that because that was one of my biggest pet peeves.
And like I tried to explain to people that didn't care for him, I'm like, my thing is, if you have a guy that's already a foreigner and has an accent when they speak English, I think you're doing him a disservice by making him wear that in his mouth while he speaks because it makes it even harder to understand what he's saying.
I agree fully.
So I was just like, that's a weird thing. But and that's off topic. But
It's like, why do you want to make that accent worse?
no, yeah. All right, next here we have Nicole Matthews.
No fucking clue who she is.
It says she's a Canadian ring veteran of over 15 years experience.
What's her name?
Nicole Matthews.
Do you have a working name for her?
That's her name, working name. That's what WWE's calling her.
No, I'm saying, okay.
Hang on, and I'll find out exactly. Yeah, that's what she uses.
Okay, so then no, I've never heard of her. Because a lot of time, like they'll say like
I know
Abby Lath,
yeah.
and then Abby Lath was Kimberly, and if you don't know that,
Oh no, yeah, you're right. They did this. Remember, they did the same thing to Rachel Ellering.
yes,
They turned her into Rachel Evers, I believe it was. All right. I know you. I know this one, and you should too, because she was just on the UK thing. British up and comer Ginny.
may know who she is.
She was in the 4-way with Tony Storm.
Okay, and then the next night she fought. She fought a one-on-one match the next night, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so then yeah, okay, then I know who you're talking about.
And here's an interesting one that I wasn't expecting. And I guess they just signed this girl. It says former American Ninja Warrior competitor Casey Catanzaro. I mean, I'm butchering that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that they had a Ninja Warrior training down there.
Yeah, she's going to be in it. And then I'm sure you probably saw who they announced the other day that's in the Mae Young Classic 2 is Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, yeah. That'll be cool.
And there's a rumor that Maria Kanellis is going to be in it.
Really? Interesting.
But you know how rumors are.
If you got it out of Facebook group, I wouldn't listen to it.
No, I didn't.
I mean, she just had a baby.
Yeah. I'm really intrigued to see who else they bring in. I hope they really don't have people that were in it last year to kind of like get new eyes on new people.
I would agree with that, with the exception of maybe people you're gonna want to focus on, like a Tony Storm.
Man, I can understand that.
Is
I'm trying
to
to
have plans to go forward with.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, it shouldn't be a major repeat of the people from the years before.
The other one I think they should focus in. I'm trying to remember if this is her name. Rhea Ripley, is that the girl with the hair, the long hair?
Yeah, the tall Australian chick, the young blonde girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm trying to remember. My memory's not so good. I'm getting old.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain she's fairly... I think she was the youngest one in the competition last year.
That's funny. Lance says, can Caitlyn pass a drug test, though?
I don't know.
Because she's gotten in really good shape, I will say that.
She's like a pro powerlifter or a pro bodybuilder.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if she was a pro one or not.
I'm fairly certain she competed as a pro. I mean, I could be wrong, but...
And she's still young. She's only 31.
Bro, she's in amazing shape. It's crazy. She's in amazing shape.
Yeah, like, because if you look at the photo from when she left the company to now, it's like a completely different person.
Oh, yeah. I think she was always... Because I think she was still competing a little bit, because another one who still competes is Dana Brooke, but you don't realize it unless she's actually...
Like, posting it.
Well, that, or like if she doesn't have a competition, she's probably not cutting all that water weight to get that ripped. Like,
yeah,
it's there, but it's under, like, you know, she carries her out normal. That's why she looks so thick, Dana Brooke. That's all muscle. She still competes all the time as a like a fitness body kind of.
Yeah, person. Like the Arnold Schwarzenegger type deals.
Yeah, and I think it's powerlifting. I think it's actually competitive powerlifting too. So,
that's interesting.
Why they don't do more with her, I don't know. Like on that front.
Yeah, it's odd, but moving along. I know you didn't know this until I told you this morning. Ring of Honor and New Japan. I guess apparently they worked something out with the Garden, like legality wise. But they're going to run Madison Square Garden the night before WrestleMania in New York City. They're going to go head-to-head with NXT TakeOver.
Yeah, which is going to be in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Right across the water.
Which is crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, because most of the people watching NXT are also watching Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Well, and it's, from what I read, it's going to be called like G1 Supercard.
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
I vaguely remember reading the exact same thing. The G1 Supercard.
Yeah, I wonder what it happened to work it out for them to get in there and, announce that date.
I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't a legal fight that the attorneys at Madison Square Garden wanted to fight.
It's very possible. Because, I don't know if you know, did WWE draw well when they were at the Garden recently?
I don't know what the draw was, but I wouldn't doubt it was close to a sellout. I mean, they had Roman Reigns and The Undertaker, it's tagging together.
Yeah, no, I was just curious if you would know, because you would have probably heard before I did.
No, I haven't heard anything about the attendance there.
Excuse me. But I'm excited for that. I want to see what they're going to do. I think they'll bring their A game.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, because I'm really on the fence with even if I want to spend the money to go to WrestleMania, especially since I'm going on another cruise.
Yeah, you finally warmed up to that.
What, another cruise?
Yeah.
I'm just going to get something to help me sleep. That's it. Like a fucking Ambien or something.
You know what you could take, and you're going to laugh when I say this? Benadryl.
Yeah. That works. The old Sudafed was the shit, bro.
I can't take it.
Why?
I'm allergic.
Oh, boy. But the old stuff, I remember I was at a friend's house. I had a fucking headache, and we were all just, hanging out. I finally get to stay over at a friend's house. Took 2 of those, bro. Woke up, 11 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah. I'm the same way with Benadryl. I could take it and be out for 6 hours.
Oh, bro. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
What's the matter?
No, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Because I wake up, it's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I got you.
Slept 12 hours. His whole family's staring at me sleeping on the living room floor.
Like you're a wino.
Yeah, man. No more for me.
Alright, well, let's get into it since we both checked it out last week. The G1 special in San Francisco. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was a good card. I thought it was a really great card. I mean, I don't think there was anything 5-10 stars, but I think it was a well put together show. I think I'm done with Jim Ross commenting though.
So you're telling me you speaking of Jim Ross, was it Jay White that hurt him?
Yes. And you know what? I happened to be looking away from the TV when it happened, and I never went back and watched what actually happened. I saw everything else. I saw Josh Barnett say, start cursing on air. I saw everything. What happened? Jay White threw somebody into the table?
Yeah, basically Jay he took the guardrail, and the guardrail hit the table, and the table whacked Jim Ross in the stomach.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So
and broke his ribs.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why his the guy that was doing the play-by-play with him
Josh
was so
Barnett,
pissed.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I thought Josh Barnett was going to kill them. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go kill Jay White. No, the show was really good. I'm not going to lie. I got very afraid during the Takahashi match.
That's what Lance was just saying. The injury put a damper on on everything, but all in all, it was a great show.
I mean, I love all this super athletic stuff. Maybe not to the level of Ricochet and
Offspring.
Osprey, but like I can respect that for what that is. It's just not my cup of tea. But like a style like Takahashi, I really like. But I realized really early, like as soon as it happened, I'm like, I think he's really hurt, and any enjoyment from that part on kind of went away because I was already under the presumption that he was hurt, and seeing like the impact he was still taking, like it got to the point where I wasn't enjoying it anymore because I'm like, any move, this guy may not get back up.
Right. Well, and like you told me off air, you saw like it's not the X anymore that they use if somebody's hurt, but they'll go and like the ref will go down and like squeeze the guy's arm to be like, squeeze my arm back to let me know you're okay.
Well, they'll still do the X in order to let the back know that it's real. Like that's like the symbol to get the paramedics ready. Like, you know.
Oh,
like,
do they still? Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever go away. But one of the things that they do in the match is the ref will go over and grab the guy's hands, and usually the guy will just squeeze back just to acknowledge that he's okay. And if you go and you look, there's a certain point where he doesn't squeeze back right away. Like the ref has to do it more than once, and it's to, you know, it's like if you know what you're looking at, it's kind of like, ooh, that doesn't seem typical.
I know what you mean. Like, you usually just do it once, and they do it back, and then that's it.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that was weird. Like, just to see the ref do it, you know, for so long. So, any point after that, I was very happy when the match was over.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. For those that were unaware, he had to actually stay in the States for a couple of days to make sure he was like safe to be able to fly back home because of like the cabin pressure and everything.
Yeah.
I think they said it was like 2-3 days and then he flew back home, and they haven't given any other updates.
I mean, like, I know broken neck can mean a plethora of things. You know, I mean,
But it just didn't look good.
No, I mean, that was scary. Like, the guy, Dragon Lee fucked that move up.
Now, see, that's my thing. I don't have a problem.
24 hours.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't have a problem with doing those types of moves, but at least be like fucking safe with them. I know things happen, but if you don't think you can do it, then don't fucking do it.
Well, apparently they have a history that dates back to Mexico. Like,
okay.
So that wasn't like a one-off. They're apparently very familiar with each other in the ring, and I think they said that he had 4 matches within 24 hours of that, Dragon Lee. Either 4 matches in 24 or 4 matches in 48. But still, that's a lot of wrestling matches at that kind of style. And yeah, he wasn't entirely safe.
Yeah.
And yeah, fucking kudos to
Takahashi for finishing the match.
Finishing the match, bro. Yeah.
Woo.
Like, and I like him. I like the ticking time bomb and his little fucking stuffed pet Daryl and his stuffed pets.
Yeah.
This one was DJ, I believe. It's the son of Daryl. Yeah. It was like, man, I can't believe that this has its own fucking like narrative, but it's so, you know, I love it.
I agree with you. Plus, the other big thing that happened, the Gorillas of Destiny and Haku go and beat the shit out of a bunch of people in the Bullet Club.
Yeah, basically everybody who was there that night that was a Bullet Club, from Kenny Omega to the Bucks to Marty Scurll to the Tokyo Pimp to Chase Owens, all got laid out
Cody.
by the Gorillas of Destiny. Yeah, and then finally Cody by the Gorillas of Destiny and King Haku.
Which I loved because I'm like, well, this is an interesting twist to things.
That leaves Bad Luck Fale, maybe Adam Page.
Yeah, Hangman Page.
Yeah, Hangman Page I don't think was there. So I'm trying to remember who else is still active. Bullet Club.
Yeah, now, what were they calling themselves? They came out and wore the shirts?
Oh, shit, I just had it on my screen, and my screen turned off. It wasn't the Hit Squad.
It was something like that.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. But, yeah, right now it's just the three of them.
I couldn't agree more, Lance. Haku is a badass, man. That is one dude I would not want to mess with.
Now,
even at his age.
Now, is it a complete suspension of disbelief to assume that three guys can demolish, what's it, 7, 8?
Those guys? Yes.
I mean, because, again, and now I'm nitpicking because I thought it was great. But that was the only thing, and I'm like, the numbers keep adding up, but they just stay down. Every one of them is beaten that badly that they can't get back up. But that was just me being like...
I know. I guess because when I see them, I'm like, those Island Boys are no joke, man. They're tough as nails.
I know, but one of them in there was 70 years old. Was 60 years old.
Is he really that old?
Haku, I would think is 60. He was wrestling in the 80s.
Let me see. I'm just curious now.
I could be entirely wrong.
You're right. He's 59.
Oh, so he's almost 60. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Even at his age, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not fucking with that guy.
Oh, he'd still beat the shit out of me.
I think he could do it to a lot of people. You know what I mean? That's a frightening man.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see where they go. Like, does this mean, like, Kenny's going to fight, like, Tama Tonga or what?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Like, if they did kind of something like where Ring of Honor did with Jay Briscoe to make him the standout single guy.
Which I think Tama Tonga can be. He's super talented.
Yeah.
He just never really had, like, a chance to show what he can do by himself.
Yeah, no, I like this. I mean, New Japan doesn't really do a shit ton of, like, heavy stories, but, like, they're beginning to change things because they got that new president.
Right, like, they don't usually do swerves and, like, aha things.
But I like it. I mean, like, but I would have bet you any amount of money on the planet that Cody Rhodes wasn't winning that title. You know why? Because he's an outsider. He's an American. He's paid absolutely no dues to be there, to be crowned the champion. If you look at outsiders who have become champion...
Well, I was going to say, look at Omega, and he's probably one of the biggest stars in the world of pro wrestling right now, and it took him, what, at least 2-3 years?
Yeah, and it goes beyond just his time being in a New Japan ring also. He speaks fluent Japanese.
Yeah, like you got to basically earn your stripes.
Yeah, I mean, if that was for a Ring of Honor title, I absolutely would have considered it could have gone either way. If that was for the New Japan title, there was no way Cody Rhodes was winning that.
It's funny you mentioned Cody Rhodes. They had like I think it's whatever the Bucks show is on YouTube. I forget what it's called.
Being the Elite.
Thank you. And they show like Kenny, the Bucks, and like Cody all like in a hotel room, like eating pizza or something after the Gorillas of Destiny and Haku kicked their ass.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
I'll just tell you this part real quick because it's funny. Like Cody's talking about everything that happened, and he's like, "Well, we're gonna have to do something," and they're all thinking, and everybody's real quiet, and Cody's like, "And what the fuck is Haku attacking us for?" It was just like so random. It was funny.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that. I try to catch that when they upload because that's funny. That's funny stuff.
Yeah, that's a really funny, like skit type show, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, they're well over 100 episodes into it now.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. They had this G1 special live on Access TV, right?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Live and uncensored.
Oh, wow.
Because that tirade, well, not even tirade. I mean, like, Jim Ross cursed on air. Jim Ross either said shit or fucking on air, 100%. After
like,
that whole incident during the...
yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then, hold on. Let's not forget to give props to Juice Robinson, formerly known as TJ Parker in NXT, for winning the NJPW IWGP
United States
title from Jay White. That was a great match.
Dude, he's gotten, like, really, really good.
You know, he's real good. I thoroughly enjoyed that match.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think they did him the best favor they could have by kind of letting him go and because the promo thing I sent you after he won the title, they told him when we release you, go become a star, and that's basically what he's doing.
Yeah. And no, he's definitely matured a lot. I mean, you know, and the people fucking love him, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten much more time than he was in NXT as CJ Parker.
Oh, absolutely.
Kind of like the same thing with Sami Callihan, where they were doing like nothing with him, and from what I've heard, he asked for his release, and he's like one of the top like heels on the indie scene right now.
I'm not a big fan of his.
Nah, he's okay. But I like that he's trying to, I guess you would say, keep it as real as possible.
Yeah. No, I can understand that.
Like, you know, where you don't see him turn it off, I guess you would say, like around fans and stuff. If that makes any sense.
Oh, it does.
Like, I like that. I haven't seen him wrestle recently, and I think he's wrestling Penta, hair versus mask, for Impact at, I think it's at their Slammiversary.
It may be, yeah.
Let me double check.
Because he ripped Pentagon's mask off and...
Yeah. I'm going to tell you in a second, because that pay-per-view is actually next weekend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the 22nd. Yeah, it's mask versus hair.
Oh yeah, I knew that was coming up. I just wasn't sure when. Yeah, no, that's gonna be interesting. I'm not a big fan of his.
Yeah, the card they have is really good.
What's some of their matches?
This one I couldn't live without. Austin Aries defending their world title against Moose.
Yeah, a fan of Moose.
Yeah, here's, I'll go through them real quick. Su Yung is defending their Knockouts title against Madison Rayne.
Okay.
Matt Sydal is defending their X Division title against Brian Cage. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
This is the one, if I wanted to pay money, I would pay money for. It's a four-way with Phoenix, Johnny Impact, Rich Swann, and Taiji Ishimori.
Okay.
I think that could be really good.
Yeah, I think that has the potential to be really good. Ichimori is really good.
Yeah. Eddie Edwards is fighting Tommy Dreamer in a Hardcore Rules match. Let's see. And then we have... This is very interesting.
A whole weird storyline from what I've chimed in and seen.
Yeah, this one actually intrigues me. They have... It's a 51-50 street fight, which is LAX, Santana...
Versus the OGs, yeah. That's fucking awful.
Yeah, versus Hernandez and Homicide.
With Eddie Kingston, or King in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel. I mean, like, all right,
I like all those guys except Hernandez and Conan.
Yeah, I could do without Conan. Hernandez, he's not awful. I mean, like, he was okay when he had his run in TNA.
Yeah, he
wasn't awful.
He's blah to me.
Yeah, but I like LAX.
Yeah, and the last match they have is Tessa Blanchard versus Allie.
Allie has grown on me quite a bit. I like her. But
yeah, she's cool.
I miss what's her name? The one who got hurt.
Rosemary. I will see her next month.
She's still scheduled to do it. Isn't she hurt?
Yeah, she's doing the convention in Atlantic City.
Oh,
she's not working, but the reason she's doing it is because DK is reuniting for one day for that convention.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming she probably got a good chunk of change to do that.
I would hope so.
So that should be interesting. Not to ramble about Slammiversary, but there's a couple matches I think could be really good on there.
No, that's great. I would just like to see Fowler or Kevin added.
It's possible they might do it this coming week.
I think that would be cool.
Speaking of which, they're both going to be there too.
At the convention?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah. They're doing it for WrestlePro.
I mean, it's good for WrestlePro to be... I mean, for them to be associated with WrestlePro and WrestlePro be associated with two, I'd say fairly successful workers who are on TV.
I was going to say guys that are on TV, yeah. It's a win-win for everybody.
Apparently, Pat was on like a TV show the other day on ID Discovery, and I actually went and I found the link on the internet and I watched it. I was like, "Oh shit, Pat Buck!"
Yeah, you had told me about this.
Yeah, I don't usually watch those murder, like serial killer.
That's your wife.
Shows.
You told me.
Yeah, my wife loves that shit.
I do too. I'm the one that's sitting watching all the shit on Netflix. Then I have night lights all on in my house.
I mean, do you remember Unsolved Mysteries?
Dude, the music back in the day with Robert Stack used to freak me the fuck out.
If you have any information, that would scare the shit out of me. Are you kidding me?
I used to watch it, and then I don't know if you remember this one from back in the day. William Shatner with fucking Rescue 911.
Yes, Rescue 911. Yes. That, or it would be I'd fall asleep with the TV on and Unsolved Mysteries would be on in the middle of the fucking night.
With the creepy music.
And if it wasn't a serial killer fucking, what the hell you call it? A sketch?
Yeah.
Like, it was about aliens, and I was like, man, I want to get fucking abducted.
I watch a lot of Forensic Files now.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it on usually at night, and I've done that before. Or what'll happen, not an Amber Alert, but we'll have where what do you call it? Like they'll test the emergency broadcast system, and they'll do it at like fucking 3 in the morning, and it'll come on like so loud that it like you jump out of bed.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
that's brutal.
I don't think I've had that happen to me in a while, but yes, I do know what you mean. I am familiar with that.
All right, now moving along. I didn't know this. They added another match to the pre-show for Extreme Rules.
Yeah, I think that was announced today. You're talking about the one with Andrade?
Yes.
Yeah, that I think was added today because I seen that on Facebook.
Yeah, it's Almas versus Sin Cara.
I mean, it has the potential to be really good. I mean,
The problem is they're probably not going to get enough time.
who the fuck is ringing on my doorbell? Hold on. Or maybe they do. Like, hold on a second.
Take your time.
Hello?
It's your wife.
We're getting our own unsolved mysteries here.
Sorry.
Now, did you hear what I said?
No, I have my headset off.
I said we're getting our own unsolved mysteries here.
Yeah, that was my wife. Apparently, did she not have her house keys? I don't know.
No, that's all good. I wanted to talk about this real quick before I forgot. Because a lot of dirt sheet sites are reporting that this past week's Raw was the lowest rated Raw in the history of the program.
Yes, and
There's a caveat behind this.
yeah, there's a small little caveat to this. And while the product has been awful, I am by no means defending the current product. This past Monday night, President Trump had a huge speech talking about his nomination for Supreme Court Justice, which was quickly the number one topic in the world. So there's a good chunk of people who may have been watching Monday Night Raw who didn't. Now, that's not to say that the show hasn't been awful, because it has been. But that's a good reason as to why a lot of people may not have been watching, or why the numbers after 9 o'clock are so poor.
Well, and like I mentioned to you, if it's more like I said, because they're episodic television, it's not really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a trend, because, like, for example, they had a really bad week this week. Now, if it got worse, then that's a trend.
Yeah, and then a lot of people will, because I hear a lot of people when they review Raw, they'll say Raw was so bad, it pulled in this rating. Now, that may be an overall rating. I'm not sure how that's all factored in, but a lot of it also has to do with what was there the week before, because if last week sucked, people may not be tuning in this week.
Well,
now, if a lot of people tuned in and then left after a certain point, then yes, the show was a failure. But if you didn't have a lot of people to start the show, then last week was the cause of why there was fewer people this week.
Yeah, like the example I gave you. I said, just, for an example, if I watch Gotham, the television show, if the show that I watched a week ago sucked, then there's a good chance I'm not going to go and watch the next episode.
Yeah, or it won't be as much of a priority, which was the case for me. I didn't watch Monday Night Raw live, and they do themselves a big disservice by what they put up on Hulu is a 90-minute, or it's not an unedited version. They cut things out of it, so I have to go to a third-party site and watch a pirated copy of it, because WWE doesn't provide me a means to watch it after the fact, like every other show in the world does. It's only on Hulu, and it's an edited copy.
Do you have oh no, you have Sling. I was gonna say, do you have On Demand?
I have On Demand, but only.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it's an edited version. It's not the full.
Oh wow! Because like we have Xfinity, I can watch the full thing.
I'm pretty sure I get an edited version.
Oh wow!
I gotta check that out then.
The only reason I know is because if Little Man's not here, he'll put it on and watch it.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I get a 90-minute version of, like, say, SmackDown.
I'll have to double check.
Oh, no. No, because that would be it without the commercials. I don't know, because I don't think it's a full...
I'll have to double check. But, good, I'm
because
sorry.
I know things have been edited out of Hulu.
Yes, I do know that.
Like the whole big ass thing. With the midget.
Yes.
Or the little person.
There's like certain things, and sometimes they're big like things that happen in storylines they cut out.
Yeah, that's why they don't get my rating a lot of the time, because I go to a third-party site and I just watch, an uploaded copy of it.
Yeah. All right, dude. I want to roll through Extreme Rules, the card, and get your thoughts on the matches.
All right.
We already talked about this one. Andrade Cien Almas against Sin Cara on the pre-show.
I think it has the potential to be really good. Both have an extensive, legitimate lucha background.
And I think they faced each other quite a bit.
I don't know, because I don't know how long this Sin Cara has been in the States. I'm pretty sure he was Hunico.
Yes.
I don't know what his career was like in Mexico prior. I don't know what his gimmick was. I know who El Sombra was. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to see, for curiosity's sake. He was only in AAA for about a year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was a huge star before coming to WWE.
Doesn't look like it.
I mean, they may have wrestled, but I don't think he had a big name when they did. Like
Lance just said, what do they get, 7 minutes tops?
Unfortunately, that's probably all that they are going to get, and it's a shame.
Yeah, but I figure Almas will go over with that hammerlock DDT, which I think is really cool looking.
Yeah, I really like that finishing move.
And it's, like Jake Roberts would say, when you hit somebody with the DDT, they don't get up.
Yeah.
That's what I like. All right, next on the pre-show, we have the New Day against Sanity in a tables match.
They're probably going to use this to get Sanity over.
You would think. I'm just not a fan of them losing on back-to-back SmackDowns.
Sanity?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Especially when you're trying to build a new entity.
Yeah, you got them losing already is not a good look at all.
Yeah, because then people are like, well, why am I going to give a crap about them?
Exactly. I think that does them a huge disservice. I don't know what's to prove.
Lance said he's voting for the table to win.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nobody goes through it.
Yeah.
Nobody can break the table.
But I agree with you. I think that's what they're going to do. I guess they feel if they let Sanity beat them on pay-per-view, it's going to mean more.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's just my total guess. All right. Next, we have Alexa Bliss defending her title against Nia Jax in an Extreme Rules match.
Somehow, I think Ronda costs Nia.
Yes, I agree.
Which I think is going to be stupid, but...
Yeah, I think this match has the potential to just be like really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like by hook or by crook, Alexa's gonna keep that title.
I kind of feel that same way. So.
Yeah.
And with Ronda being there, and then her suspension being over, I believe the next week, she's gonna somehow get involved, and it's gonna further a feud with Nia because she's already proved she can work with Nia.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt defending the Raw Tag Team titles against the B Team. I know how you feel about this.
I think Bray and Hardy win, and I think they lose the titles at SummerSlam to whatchamacallit, Authors of Pain.
Huh.
So I don't think there's any chance for the B Team to win, unfortunately, which makes me very, very, very sad.
Because they've like really come up in the last, during this feud.
I agree. I think they have the fans behind them. I think this has the potential to be something good, like organically good, and WWE is just going to fuck it up.
Yeah, Lance seems to think that B Team's going to pull it off.
I think it would be great.
I do too. And this is the first time you've seen Bray and his brother go at it.
Yes.
So that's intriguing in itself.
For us, I don't know.
I know,
how many
not
typical
for like
WWE people know this.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. For people that actually know.
I mean, if they would play it all off of it, I think that would be so much better.
I agree. All right. Go ahead.
I think his mocking of his brother has been hysterical, though.
Yeah, I think Axel's done a good job, too, with the fucking Matt Hardy shit. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I've enjoyed that. Like, I've had memories of, like, DX back in the day kind of shit. Like, I've enjoyed the attempt. Like, I don't feel like it's been stupid. Or it's been stupid in the right way.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. Next, we have Carmella defending the SmackDown Women's title against Asuka. And I wasn't aware of this, that James Ellsworth is going to be suspended above the ring in a shark cage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point, bro. Like, surely Asuka can't lose again.
I know, they're just making it
right?
like a joke now.
All right, she can't lose again, can she?
I hope not.
That don't make sense.
Because she's legitimately, guy or girl, one of the best workers they have.
She could beat up anybody on the roster, male or female.
Yeah. Well, for those that have never seen it, I'm pretty sure you have. When she was broken in Japan over there, what they did to her.
That wasn't even broken in. She has Minoru Suzuki, who everybody knows who Minoru Suzuki is, just to give her a shoot beating to earn the respect.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Minoru Suzuki is, Google him.
Yeah, and he kind of OD'd in my opinion.
Yeah, he beat the snot out of her.
But she accomplished the goal in which she won. I mean, she wasn't mad at him. I mean,
no, she earned everybody's respect. Because, what person in their right mind would go up and ask, just beat the crap out of me?
Yeah, please. Respectfully, please beat the shit out of me.
Yeah. I'm going to say that Asuka wins. I hope so, but I have my doubts.
I mean, I hope so too. It just would make no sense for anything else.
Unless they're building a different feud, like, for example, so-and-so comes out and costs her the title. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. That's just so bad.
All right, next we have the Bludgeon Brothers defending their SmackDown Tag Team titles against Team Hell No.
What have the Bludgeon Brothers done at all since winning the title? Anything.
No, nothing really.
So, okay, and then what's the point of having these guys back together, Team Hell No?
I think they just threw them together because they didn't know what to do.
So we have no real reason
No.
for So I don't know what to say.
I'm going to say Harper and Rowan win.
It's entirely possible.
Because they kind of need a statement win. But you know what? Lance just said it. That makes perfect sense. He said this should be a great match until The Miz interferes.
Yeah. And then what? And then they just fucking write off Kane? They hurt Kane?
Probably. Since he's got his election coming up in like 3 months.
Early voting starts, like, according to his thing, like, any fucking day now.
Well, then they'll probably just write him off.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know.
Bring him back just basically to write him off. So he has very little to do with what's actually going forward.
Probably. All right. Next, we have Dolph Ziggler defending his Intercontinental title against Seth Rollins in a 30-minute Iron Man match.
It's probably going to be match of the night. I'm fairly comfortable.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I would be surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah, I'll go with Ziggler keeping it.
I think so.
Like with shenanigans.
Yeah.
Because I
think it's too early to take it off of him.
Yeah. Plus, I feel after SummerSlam, they're going to have big plans for Seth. I think.
It's possible.
You know, like push him more up in the main event picture.
Yeah.
Because, like, I gotta believe that this is the best he's been, I think, ever. Like, since he's been up on the main roster. He's just so good right now.
I can agree with that.
Alright, next we have Jeff Hardy defending the U.S. title against Shinsuke Nakamura.
And I'm tired of wanting Nakamura to win titles. Because it just doesn't fucking happen.
I actually think it's going to happen this time.
I think if it does happen, this is the time for it to happen. Absolutely, I think it's the time.
And the other reason is because Jeff Hardy's really beat up and can't really work a lot of one-on-one matches. So that's another reason why I'm thinking they're going to let Nakamura get the title. Plus, you really can't go wrong with a foreign guy having the U.S. title.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that.
All right, next we have Finn Balor, going up against Constable Baron Corbin.
I think Corbin wins this.
Yeah, they just don't know what to do with Balor.
Yeah, and with this new Constable gimmick, they're doing more for Corbin right now than they're doing for Balor, so...
Yeah, they don't know what to do with Balor. He's just kind of lost in the shuffle.
Like, if Corbin loses, how authoritative can he be?
Exactly. All right, next we have Braun Strowman against Kevin Owens in a steel cage.
Fairly certain Braun Strowman's going to win this.
You would think because he's the Money in the Bank person, you're going to want to keep him looking, strong, basically.
Not historically.
Well, that's true. Because usually, like, people right before they cash in, don't they lose, like, a shit ton of matches?
I mean, it did for a couple of guys.
Yeah. I think Seth was one of them.
Daniel Bryan certainly was.
Oh, God, yeah. All right. Next, we have AJ Styles defending his WWE title against your buddy Machka Rusev.
I mean, it's cool that he's in a main event. I just don't see it going anywhere at all. Like, there's no chance he's winning the title.
No, as much as I'd love to see it, I almost feel like he's just like a filler guy for this show.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like for him to be taken seriously, but I don't think there's any chance on God's green earth that...
I mean, I will say this. That he's done, and Creative has done a really good job for the build-up.
Yeah.
But like you said, if he won, I would be shocked.
I mean, they just have a big problem with finding a bad guy that can also have a sense of humor.
Yeah. Because they got that guy on Raw now.
Oh.
Kevin.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I also mean for Rusev. Like, wait, Rusev Day, but still be a heel.
I got you.
Like, still just be a dangerous son of a bitch. You, like, still be heel, but...
But still have fun with Rusev Day.
Yes.
I got you. All right, and last but certainly not least, Roman Reigns going up against Bobby Lashley.
I think Lashley wins this. I think the Roman Reigns project is over temporarily. I really, truly do.
I hope so. And before people, like, bash me for saying that, it's not that I dislike Roman. I dislike the way Creative has booked Roman.
Yeah. Well, he's been booked fairly awfully, so.
Yeah, and Bobby Lashley, to say that they're going to push him is not, that much better because he has, like, zero personality.
Yeah, but they can have a credible story for him fighting Brock.
Which I've heard now that he is going to wrestle at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I've heard conflicted things back and forth on whether or not he was going to wrestle. I mean, there's going to become a point in which I'm thinking they're going to fight maybe February. I mean... February, okay, either February or...
March.
Either March or January when he's eligible. It could be either of the two. There comes to a point where he can't wrestle because he's training. Like, he can't take healing from a wrestling match. You know what I mean?
Right, and the thing is, Brock holds all the cards.
Yes.
With, for Vince. Like, he could... I'm not saying that he's going to, but he could basically hold Vince hostage.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should just strip him of the fucking belt.
I mean, I understand what they want to do in this. I'm pretty positive this is what they want to do. That they want to, like, keep him away, and then when someone finally does beat him, which is probably going to be Roman Reigns... they think, it's going to be like this big deal. I'm telling you right now, and Lance just said it in the chat, that half that crowd, they're in Pittsburgh for the pay-per-view, half that crowd is going to leave during the main event because they don't want to see Roman Reigns. Or a portion, I should say.
Well, there's a good chance that may happen. Like, it's after... What's it? The last pay-per-view that should happen.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to remember, but yeah, where people were chanting like "beat the traffic."
Yeah. Hold on, let me just turn my fan.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, Lance.
What do you say?
That have a three-way at SummerSlam: Lashley, Brock, and Roman.
That's not awful, but they had a fatal four-way last SummerSlam.
Yeah, well, you know how they are in their multi-man matches.
Yeah, it was Brock, fucking Samoa Joe, and I forget the other two last year. It had to be Roman.
Yeah, and Braun.
Oh, and Braun, yeah. That was at one of the pay-per-views last year. It may not have been SummerSlam.
I feel the exact same way, Lance. He said he could care less about Roman and Lashley.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, and I feel bad because it's not like they're not trying, but it's just I have no desire to see it.
Yeah, Lashley's not somebody who gets me excited about wrestling. I mean...
Well, and you said this on this show a ton of times. He was much better as Walking Armageddon.
Yeah, just a badass heel who's just cocky as fuck.
Like, he can pull that off.
Hell yeah, he could pull it. He was very good at that. And now they got him as this fucking smiling, happy guy. I mean, like, now, okay. I liked Raw at the beginning of Raw this week. I don't care what anybody said. I liked the big pull apart. I liked that.
Yeah, the way they did it was good.
I was completely okay. It was the first time anything in this angle I was like, oh. I was like, this isn't trash.
That's an interesting idea, Lance. He said have that triple threat at SummerSlam, have Roman pin Lashley, and Brock can leave unscathed.
Or then have Braun come in and cash.
Yeah, do it that way.
That's why I think they have Braun with the title, so that even I think it's going to be a bullshit fucking situation where Brock wins something and then Braun cashes, so they still have escape. You know, he didn't really beat him. He beat him after a hard match.
Yeah, they're gonna have, as they call it, an out.
Yeah.
And like Lance said, and I agree with it, he said Roman has to be the most frustrated of anyone because he's being put in this position.
Yeah, I don't fault him. I mean, he's doing what he's told to do. I mean, I think he'd work great as a heel.
Yeah, well, remember, and if people haven't seen it, you can find it on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. When he first came into NXT, he was a cocky heel.
I think he'd be even better now with what he knows now.
Yeah, because that little promo you can find on YouTube just then, and this was 5 years ago, I would say. You know, he was good at it then.
Yeah.
So like you said, with everything he's learned going up and down the roads between now and then, you think would make him that much better.
Oh yeah, I mean, and he's already had, like, he knows that, you know, what really gets people booed. I mean, like, what really generates boos, what people really hate. You know, he could work that until, just like The Rock did. Maybe not be as successful as The Rock, but it worked for The Rock.
Yeah, but I was going to say at the very least, like, the people gotta hate you first before they can like you.
For some people, yeah, like, people don't want a white meat baby face.
I mean, Rocky back in the day is the perfect example.
And Die Rocky Die, and then he came back and he started just insulting the people directly.
Yeah,
you know,
he made it great.
In which few people really had, like, as direct as Rock did it.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Mocking chants, like, instead of just talking about people, like, you people in a superfluous fashion.
No, I completely agree with you, dude.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that, Lance. They have too many writers trying to write for guys that they think they know how they would speak, and it's just a disaster.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. That they're not
'Cause I was
giving
gonna
enough leeway
say-
to make it their own.
Yeah, I was gonna say these guys need to work with them to be like, well, I don't sound like that, I don't talk like that, you know what I mean,
Yes.
and make it more original, like where I'm not really just reading something off a piece of paper. This is me.
Yeah, and I think that has a big problem with why the product is so bland. It sounds like one voice.
Right. Well, and they're going to have to figure it out quick because we've talked about it on this show before. The game's changing when they go on Fox next fall.
Yeah, they're gonna have to come up with a product that's worth all the money that they're getting to start generating ratings, like the ratings that are going to be expected.
Yeah, ratings are going to matter for once.
I mean, still fucking.
I mean,
to
because
say $2.4 million. I mean, 2.4 million people is a low viewership. It still says a lot for a lot of TV shows.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, shit, like 20 years ago, during the height of the Attitude Era, they were getting like 5, 6, 7 million people watching.
Yeah, but things were also different back then. You didn't have DVR back then.
That's true, too.
You didn't have internet access. Not everything is factored in.
I was going to say you didn't have like Hulu or, YouTube and those types of things.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of factors. Like, this TV, TV in general is down to a certain degree.
Oh, dude, cable TV will be obsolete at some point.
Oh, absolutely. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, like it's just dying a slow death.
Soon. I think it's going to be within the next 5 years. You're really not. You're going to have far fewer people on cable TV. I think they've already passed the 50% mark.
Really?
Yeah, I think there are now more people with internet stuff than actual cable.
That's interesting.
It was something I read this week. I don't remember what the exact number, but I was surprised with how far this internet television has come.
Nice.
With Sling and Hulu, Netflix, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because that's my workaround. I don't have traditional cable.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get out of here for tonight, what are you up to this weekend?
Going to the planetarium tomorrow.
That sounds fun.
Yep, and then just around New York City otherwise.
Nice.
So, yep, gonna go out and have a nice day with my wife.
I'm trying to think. Tomorrow, I'm not really doing anything tomorrow. Just kind of, I'm gonna like loaf around, as they say.
And play some video games.
Yeah, and then Sunday, I'm going to go pick up Little Man in the afternoon, and we're going to a Extreme Rules party.
Oh, that's right. We were just talking about it. Extreme Rules is this weekend. That's right. So, yeah, I'll probably just be watching that at some point.
Yeah.
But that's fun. I hope you guys have fun.
Yeah, the thing I'm going to, from what I understand, they're going to have... I can't remember what it's called, but it's like an old school arcade games. Like it has like hundreds of games. It's like the little like joystick thingy with the two buttons you can like hook up to a TV.
Oh, it's one of those. Okay.
Yeah. And there's like tons of titles. Like the last one we went to for Mania, me and Little Man beat the game Final Fight.
Okay.
Which was cool. We're probably going to play the game I was telling you about. I was playing earlier because he was watching me play. He's like, I want to play. He's like, it says press start for player 2. I'm like, dude, I don't have another laptop here for you to jump in.
Oh, that's funny.
So we'll probably do that on Sunday. But
That'll be fun.
yeah, it should be a good time. But on that note, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And we'll see you back next week. Have a good night, everybody.